Before we get started, hey you! Did you know about Nintendo Force Magazine, the awesome bi-monthly spiritual successor to Nintendo Power Magazine? Did you know that you get a sweet poster with every issue, just like the good old days? Did you know that I have a regular column where I write silly fanfiction stories about Nintendo characters? Did you know that I just wrote a touching Christmas tale about Link and a Secret Santa gift exchange? Did you know that there's a link to subscribe to Nintendo Force down in the description of this video? Did you know that you have beautiful eyes? Because you do. Scoop Dada! Hello, my beautiful, glorious friends. Predictions are for another video. This video is all about wishes. This is all about the stuff, realistic or not, that I wish to see in 2019. And my prediction videos are always very, very tightly scripted with lots of whooshy, fancy effects and stuff. But this is going to be a little more off the cuff. We're going off script here. We're going off the rails. This is Arlo off the rails. And whenever I do a off the cuff unscripted video, I usually use my poster background. But I didn't feel like digging down the green screen and putting it back up again. So there you go. I don't know what's up there right now, but it's probably great. So, oh, wow, did you see that? Oh, wow, that was really amazing. So something I'm doing at the end of my prediction video this year, sorry to keep bringing up the prediction video, and I know this isn't a prediction video, seems relevant though. One thing I'm doing is at the end of the video, I'm going over whether or not my predictions from last year came true or not. So I'd like to do the same thing with my wish list, see, you know, which ones of just roll it, keep going. Which of my wishes came true and which of my wishes did not come true. But I would like to put those at the beginning of this video, so let's get started! Last year, I wished for Pikmin 4. I did not get Pikmin 4. Moving on. Super Mario Maker sequel. I wished for that. I also did not get it, which is actually pretty surprising. I've been really expecting that to come any second now, so I don't know. Luigi's Mansion 3. I did not get the game, but we most certainly got a reveal. So I'd say that's great, and the same goes for Animal Crossing. Those were two of my major wishes for 2018, and again, Animal Crossing was just a teaser, but at least it did get announced, so I would say that's a fairly good victory on both those fronts. Last year, I wished for Nintendo Switch Online to be good. I did not get that. It didn't end up happening. No, I don't know. I'm gonna just move on now. I've already talked about that a lot. It did not end up being the service I was hoping. It did not end up delivering everything that I wished that it would. There are certain aspects of it that work as an online service. That is part of it, is I just wanted some of it to just work. And it does, to a point. Let's move on now. I wished for the Virtual Console. No, in fact, it was the opposite. Instead of giving us the Virtual Console, they told us that it was not coming. It was in fact deconfirmed. So that's pretty rough. Pretty rough there. It's kind of a little black hole on the wish list, you know? And instead of getting it, you get the confirmation that you won't ever get it. So that was good. Another thing I wanted was an overhaul on the eShop. I wanted it to be improved. Kind of yes and no on that one. It has kind of improved. Like they've added features and it's gotten better. I'd still say it's a little bit lame. I don't know, but you know, they've added stuff. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll give them that one. They improved the eShop a bit. Still needs more work, but yeah, whatever. I wished for an update to the Switch UI that gave us a way to better track our playtime. We did not get that. It's the same old disappointing, kind of vague time tracker as ever. So it stinks. Now, I knew that a price drop was unlikely and maybe not even a good idea, but I did put it on my list just because I'm so curious to see what a cheaper Switch will look like. But it didn't get that, but it did, however, start to get bundles, so that was good, like the months leading up to the holiday season, and then, of course, the holiday season, we did get, like, the $300 MSRP, but then with a $60 game, so it's kind of an effective price drop, so we did start to. I think next year, I don't know if there will be a drop yet, probably still not, depends on how sales go. I think they might start to get a little more aggressive with bundles, though, so I don't know, yeah. I wished for more lending of their IPs to third-party companies in the same way that they let, what's that one? Sorry, I don't remember the name right now. That one company, they gave them Metroid to do Samus Returns, you know, and they gave Ubisoft, they gave them Mario, they did Mario and Rabbids. So, like, I wanted to see more of that. It didn't happen, as far as I'm aware, which is actually a little disappointing, because that's a whole, I could do a whole video on that. I'm even thinking about it, just like a whole thing on how, like, let other people have your IPs. If you're not going to be making these games yourselves, let other people. It can lead to some really good things. But yeah, not that I'm aware of. I don't think any of that's happened this year that I know of. Last year, I did sort of hope that they would pull the plug on the 3DS just because I like the idea of moving forward. I like the idea of all development, you know, moving forward, going to the Switch. I know the 3DS is great. Love the 3DS. I just think it's time to move on. They did not. They released a good number of games. However, support has been kind of small enough that I'm not really worried about it anymore. You know, it's been mostly kind of smaller titles, a couple remasters, that kind of thing. Like, just enough to kind of keep it alive and get some extra sales for them, but not enough to actually feel like we're missing out on anything, you know? Not to feel like the Switch could be getting these great games, but they're not. I mean, you know, some good games. I hear WarioWare Gold was pretty good, but I don't know. It's just at a level that I'm kind of okay with. They could continue at this level for a while now, and I'd probably be okay with it, even though the idea of having these Mario and Luigi games on my Switch would be pretty cool, but maybe it'll get a new one. So, I don't know. Finally, I wished for 2018 to be just as good as 2017. I absolutely did not get that. It did not happen at all. Nintendo positively did not keep up that insane, crazy momentum into 2018. It's not the end of the world or anything, and I'll, you know, talk about it plenty in other videos, but, yeah, no, it did not happen. But what are you gonna do? We got Luigi's Mansion 3 and Animal Crossing, so, yeah. So that's that. Now let's get on to the meaty stuff. The actual stuff that I am putting on my wish list that I am sending to Reggie Claus, who I just made up, and I wish I knew how to Photoshop because now I just want to make Reggie Claus a thing. Good thing I can't, though. I shouldn't get distracted. I'm here doing this video, so here is my wish list for 2019. I might repeat myself a little. Naturally, there are some things that I want basically every year. I'm going to try not to go over too many things that I've already talked about a lot or that I want to talk about in a future video, like Luigi's Mansion 3 and Metroid Prime 4 are good examples of things I have talked about, want to talk about, so yeah. Let's go. So what do you know? The surprisiest of all surprises in the universe. My first wish is for Pikmin 4. I mean, broken record at this point. It's like, it's kind of almost not even worth talking about anymore, and it's like, it's been so long, it's really hard to not set my expectations too high, even if I know it's coming eventually. It's like, the more time goes on, the more it kind of builds up, and I think that's definitely a problem on the part of Miyamoto, who always says all the weird stuff about, oh, it's like, he tells us way too early when it's coming, and it's just kind of messed up. It was kind of like the Switch itself. They teased it so far ahead of time that then it kind of, I mean, it eventually ended up being fine, but like at the time, the hype was just kind of, it just kind of felt yucky after a while because it was just too long. And so that's how I'm with Pikmin 4. I'm trying not to just like hype it up to be this amazing, amazing thing. And it's like, I'm kind of almost at the point where I'm ready to give up waiting. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to give up actively waiting because it's just been that long. Like, if it doesn't show its face at all in 2019, I'm probably not going to put it in the wishlist video next year because it's just like, okay, there's obviously something with it. Everything he said was obviously not true. Like, it was misunderstood or something. Miyamoto said it's like almost done and they're always working on it and it's coming, and like, obviously this is not how it ended up being. You know what I mean? With each passing year, it gets a little more ridiculous. So I'm kind of ready to stop looking at the game as though it is in active development and could show up at any time, because I don't know anymore. It could. It also just couldn't. And it's getting exhausting giving it my mental energy. So I'm kind of just like, okay, I'm like halfway wishing for it this year. I mean, obviously I really want it, but if it doesn't come, I'm just gonna be like, whatever. It'll probably be another 9 years, just like it was between 2 and 3. Like, can you believe it has already been 5? Yeah, it's already been 5 since 3. I can not believe that, but like, it's already been kind of a stupidly long time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, development cycle for a game, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years at like the most. No, it's been 5, so who even knows? Moving on. Ugh. Oh, but I will say, if it does get announced this year, I want it to be a short wait. So that's my wish for Pikmin right now. It's like, 1, that it exists, that it comes at all, and 2, that if they do announce it, it's not like this long delay coming 2020 question mark, you know what I mean? And then it just gets delayed. No, I want it to be like it's revealed in the spring and it releases in the fall, that kind of thing. You know, I want it to be like a few month, like half year at the most turnaround. That is my big wish. Like, we've waited long enough. Next up, it has also been like 5 years since Retro came out with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Something like that, like a long time. Like, I figure like 5 years is like the development cycle for like a really big game, or like, I don't know, a Nintendo first or second party studio game. Just 5 seems to be like, even for a game that takes a really long time, 5 seems to be the magic number. It's been about 5 years. I really want to see what they've been working on. We know they've been working on something this whole time. They didn't spend 4 or 5 years making the Tropical Freeze port for the Switch. We know that didn't happen. So I want to see what it is. I want to just finally just like lift the curtain on this thing. And my wish, even though it is not exactly realistic, is that I want it to be a new single player IP. This is something I touched on in my prediction video last year. I knew it wasn't realistic, but it's definitely my wish. Is like Nintendo, they make new IPs every once in a while, but recently, usually when they do, it's like a multiplayer thing. It's Splatoon, it's ARMS, you know what I mean? Like, I want, and like, you can definitely turn a multiplayer experience into something bigger. Splatoon did. It ended up adding on a big story mode later. Like, it's the complete package, and that's totally cool, but like, I want them to go in not being like, the main gameplay here is fighting other people. I want it to be like, this is a story. This is an adventure. I want a new intellectual property, a new franchise with new characters, and that just has a lot of, I don't know, just a lot of big effort put into building a world and making a story and just making it a cool, fun adventure game. You know what I mean? Something that can go toe-to-toe with Zelda or Mario. And there's definitely the part of me that's like, but they're so good at revitalizing, franchises, you know what I mean? They did it to Metroid, they did it to Donkey Kong, so I kind of want them to do it again for something else. But at the same time, like, I want new, I'm always looking for new things from Nintendo. And Retro is just such a talented studio. Yeah, that's what I want. New single-player franchise from Retro, and I want it to at least be revealed this year. Tired of waiting. I'm impatient. Next up, we do not know the exact status of any potential sequel for Super Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild. Like, we just don't know. Are they gonna make more DLC for both? Are they gonna do the whole, asset reusing thing where they come out with a timely sequel for both? That's definitely what I want. Or are they just like, no, we already did the Mario and the Zelda for the Switch. Moving on. It's going to be another 7 years before you see either of those on the next system. Me and basically everyone wants to see the asset reusing quicker sequel, which is funny because that's the most cost effective. So if Nintendo doesn't do it, I don't know what they're thinking, because it's like, this is cheaper and everyone actually wants it the most. So it'd be pretty silly not to indulge in a little bit of that, the ease of development there. So I hope that's what they're doing. And then, like, my specific wish for 2019 is I want to see at least a hint of one of them next year. That's what I want. I want a teaser or something, or even like I guess I don't want just a mention, because if they mention it, they're like, oh, it's coming. It's like, yeah, but it could still be 3 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I want at least one of those to be, E3 or something, and they suggest that it's coming fairly soon. Just at least a hint, at least a tiny hint that at least one of them is happening, preferably both. But yeah, I want peace of mind, you know what I mean? I want peace of mind to know that it's not going to be too long. I mean, come on, like Zelda, in just a few months, in March, that'll be the 2nd anniversary of Breath of the Wild. I've said it before, I could easily see an asset reusing sequel coming 3 years. You know what I mean? The other development was like 5.5 or whatever. I think 3 is perfectly reasonable now that they have most of the assets. So I could see, again, at E3 or something, I could see a teaser or maybe even a full trailer. I don't know. Now I'm getting a little too wishful. And like DLC for Super Mario Odyssey would be pretty cool. I even predicted that, but that's not what I want. On my wish list, I want Odyssey, full-on sequel. I want it teased in 2019. So we have 4 more character reveals for Smash DLC. We just got the reveal for Joker from Persona 5, and that has kind of blown everything up, like as far as expectations go, because I did like my Smash character predictions, and like they were all pretty safe. You know what I mean? Because like I don't ever want to go too far out on a limb. They were pretty safe Nintendo franchises, but now like with Persona 5 with Joker, and then Reggie comes out and he's like, yeah, the rest of them are going to be wacky too. I mean, like he didn't specifically say they're going to be other weird third-party characters from previously exclusive PlayStation games, but like it felt like he was hinting that they were going to be pretty fun and out there too. So now now the sky is really the limit as far as like who they're gonna put in there. And with that in mind, now my wish is for the rest of them to all be just as wacky. I want them all, I mean, like there are plenty of Nintendo characters I would love to see. Naturally, did a whole did a whole Smash wishlist video too, but like, no, I want them to be all weird third parties, you know what I mean? I don't want them to go so far out there that they have very few fans, and they wouldn't do that. I mean, you know, Persona 5, very, very popular game. I want more of that. I want more that just kind of, just completely take us by surprise, and, you know, yeah, wacky third parties that you previously would have never ever expected to see in a Smash game. I want Crash. If I'm gonna give you one single like really big wish right now for like weird third parties, it's Crash Bandicoot. That's who I want in Smash. But even if it's not him, I want him to just be 4 reveals that just completely take us by surprise. And if they can package them in ways that surprise us like Joker did, that was excellent, because it was at the Game Awards, we didn't even know we were looking at a Smash thing, so it was just that much more surprising. Do that. Keep doing that. Keep knocking our socks off. Paper Mario is another one that's like really barely even worth mentioning. I don't know why I'm mentioning it here. I just kind of feel like I have to, you know? It's just kind of like, I just kind of feel like I have to. It's like up there at the top of just things that I want. I've even said I'm done actively wishing for it, but here I am talking about Paper Mario again. I wouldn't even mind if they did like a Metroid Prime 4 thing where it was like years ahead of time, just started development, but they gave us some little teaser just to show it's coming. You know what I mean? And in some way show us that it's the Paper Mario that we want. And I know it's probably not going to happen, but that's my wish. I gotta wish. I gotta wish for it. I could see like a thing, some little teaser for Paper Mario, but then it says like, oh, Paper Mario 3, or like something that's like, this is a sequel to Thousand Year Door, you know what I mean? I mean, like, they could reasonably tease a Paper Mario game. Color Splash was a few years ago by now, if they had gotten started right away. It didn't sound like they wanted to get started right away. It sounded like they wanted to sit on it for a while. If they did, it's at least possible a teaser could come. If it does, I don't want it to be like completely ambiguous where it's just like a Paper Mario game and that's the teaser and we're like, wait, why, what, but what kind? We have to like literally a year until like the next E3. We're sitting there just like wondering what kind of Paper Mario it is, if it's what we want or not. Paper Mario. Here's an interesting one. I want a Switch Pro for the holidays. I know it seems a little early, and especially like at this phase, like right now, it is a little early. The Switch isn't even 2 years old, but by next holiday season, it will be 2.5 years old, and they probably want to go more than 5 years with it. It sounds like they wanted to go 6 or 7, maybe even more, but like 5 would work. I could see them going 5, and if so, 2.5 years is halfway through. It's not impossibly early to see a Switch Pro for next holidays. The year after that would probably make more sense. I think I'm just kind of leaning toward earlier just because I want one. Just because I want one so much. I want a Switch with just more hardware power, a 1080p screen that can just, you know, any game with adaptive resolution can just, it's more powerful. So here you're getting games with higher resolutions, higher frame rates and all that. It can just run everything better designed. I actually kind of want to make a video coming up about how like kind of like revisiting the Switch's hardware issues, because I have had some issues. The Joy-Cons need a redesign. The thing itself kind of does. I just want it. You know, yeah, I don't know if it makes business sense to make one this early, especially since sales are really starting to roll right now. This holiday was great. They'll probably wait another year, but that's at least my own personal selfish wish, is just for a Switch Pro for the holidays. Gimme one. I want one so bad. Now we're getting a little more broad here. There are so many games. Well, I've talked about this. So many games coming. Just coming in general. You know what I mean? Metroid, Pokemon. I won't even list them all. There's just like 1,000 first-party games that have already been announced that are coming. And I want as many as possible to come in 2019. You know what I mean? It just bugs me to no end when the development just drags on, and we just keep showing up just direct after direct, E3 after E3, and just years go by between the reveal and the release. They can do it strategically sometimes, like the Metroid, they wanted to show us that it was coming, and that's fine, and that's great, but I'm getting a little tired of it, you know. There are just so many great games. I want 2019 to be awesome. I don't want them to stretch them far out into 2020 and even beyond, you know. I know some are gonna end up being 2020. I mean, otherwise 2019 would already be like, they'd be like, we're not gonna announce a single game this year because you already have like 1 million. I know some will. I just hope it's like as few as possible, like maybe just a few, and the rest make 2019 just terrific. Like, I don't think Metroid Prime 4 will come in 2019. I'm being extra pessimistic about this one. I think it'll get pushed into 2020, but I hope it's 2019. You know, I think Pokemon will probably hit, Fire Emblem will hit, Yoshi will hit, but then like Bayonetta 3, I'm not a fan of Bayonetta, I haven't played any of them, but like it would just be cool if it hit in 2019 as well. And then of course Animal Crossing and Luigi's Mansion, like I want to play them. I want to get my hands on those. Animal Crossing I could easily see, I think they said 2019, I could see it moving into 2020 just because it was just such a teaser that they gave us that I could see it being early in development, but at least Luigi's Mansion. If I have to pick between the two to push into 2019 or push into 2020 or leave in 2019, push Animal Crossing into 2020. I want Luigi's Mansion 3 in 2019. I want that game so bad. And then finally, there are so many games coming that I just want them all to live up. You know, like there were a few disappointments in 2019. Won't go too far into them, just a couple games that really excited me based on the trailers and the features in them that ended up just feeling really like not as much effort went into them as could have been. So I don't want that to happen, you know what I mean? I don't want any of these cool new games coming up. I don't want that to happen again. I don't want it to come and I'm giving it a 4 out of 7 and I'm saying the gameplay is fun, but there's no content and blah, 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 blah. I don't want that. I want these all to be like the perfect representations of their series. I want this to be Luigi's Mansion 3. I want this to be Metroid Prime 4. I want this to be next-gen Pokemon in HD, you know? And I know Nintendo is fully capable of that, so I'm just keeping my fingers crossed and going into the new year with a something on my something. I thought I had like an analogy or something for that, or like some sort of idiom. I don't though. I just, whatever. Make these games good, Nintendo. I want good video games. I don't like bad video games as much. So there it is, my friends. That is the wish list that I'm sending to Reggie Claus right now. I would love it if you went down to the comments and, of course, gave me your wish list for 2019 that you are sending to Reggie Claus. And, just keep your fingers crossed, man. Just keep them fingers crossed. Hope you were good. Hope you didn't play any other systems this year. You know, Reggie Claus doesn't like that. He doesn't want you to play no Xbox, no PlayStation, no PC, nothing. And you had to buy all the first-party releases and all the DLC for them. That's how to be nice on Reggie Claus's list. Yeah, for sure. He's definitely petty like that. Well, I hope you all get what you want. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. And, whoa! Whoa, another amazing thing is happening on the green screen. Whoa! That's amazing. Wow, look at that. Look at that right there. This video was brought to you in part by my Patreon patrons and in even larger part by my top Patreon patrons, the names of which you are seeing scrolling down the screen right now. These are truly excellent people right here, and I owe them like the most gratitude you can owe any people or collection of people ever. If you yourself would like to get behind the scenes updates on what I'm working on and also chat with me and your fellow patrons, head to patreon.com/arlostuff where you can get all of that and more for, well, not more, all of that. There's different tiers. It's a whole thing. Check it out for as little as $1 a month. I love you. Have a great day.